Hello, and welcome to this week's version of Ask the Gov. Our first question comes from Todd in Fort Dodge. Todd asks, what are you going to do about sexual predators in our nursing homes? This doesn't pass the smell test. Unfortunately, we've had judges that have placed sexual predators in some of our nursing homes. I've put together a working group of department heads to look at what can be done, including notifying the residents of those homes or any vulnerable citizen if a sexual predator or a potentially dangerous person is placed in a nursing home. I would point out that this happened during the previous administration. It was done by a district court judge with the approval of the then Director of Department of Human Services. We have a new Director of Department of Human Services, and we're presently looking at trying to change the policy so this kind of thing will not happen again. The second question comes from Mark in Des Moines via Facebook. Mark asks, where are the jobs that you promised? Well, I'm pleased to say we are making significant progress. For the first time in years, the unemployment rate is now below 100,000 Iowans. We've worked very hard to bring new business and jobs to our state. Companies like Cargill announcing in Fort Dodge, also CJ, which is a company we recruited from South Korea on our trade missions, going to invest $324 million, create 180 jobs, also in the Fort Dodge area. I was just in Ames last night, where we have 3 or 4 companies that are expanding and growing there. There's many other good things going on. John Deere has added about 25% to its workforce in Ankeny. Bridgestone is adding jobs here in Des Moines. Alcoa is putting a whole new expansion on. It's going to add a couple hundred really good jobs in the Quad Cities area. We're working very hard to attract more companies that are adding value to agriculture products. And agriculture is now the strongest part of the Iowa economy. I was governor during the 80s when it was the weakest part. Agriculture land values have gone up more in the last year than any other time in our history, and we're hoping that we can find more ways to produce things from corn and soybeans. And also, we're very fortunate pork and beef prices are good. So I'm very optimistic that we're going to be able to continue to make progress in our very ambitious goal of creating 200,000 jobs and raising family incomes by 25% over the next 5 years. Our Director of the new Partnership for Economic Progress, Debbie Durham, is working hard at it every day, and we're looking to do more in the next legislative session to further reduce the tax and regulatory burden that makes it more difficult for small businesses to expand and grow in our state. Our commercial property tax is still too high. We're going to work very hard to reduce that next year. And when I addressed the Immigrant Entrepreneurial Summit, we had 467 people there, and many of them small business people that said that because of net leases, they are the ones, these small businesses, that have to pay the high property taxes in these commercial buildings. And I'm committed to doing all we can to make Iowa more attractive for startup businesses, as well as expanding these other great companies that we talked about. Our third question comes from Betty in Sioux City. Betty asks, when are you going to be back in Northwest Iowa? I spent quite a bit of time in western Iowa this summer as we dealt with the flood along the Missouri River. I'm pleased to say we had a great cooperation and collaboration. We've got most of the roads open, and we're working to rebuild. In fact, I just got good word from Paul Trombino. The federal government is going to come through with their obligation to pay for the rebuilding of these highways and bridges that were damaged. And of course, we're continuing to work to try to help the rebuilding in western Iowa. We will be back in western Iowa December 12th and 13th. Lieutenant Governor Reynolds and I are continuing to conduct town hall meetings on education reform. We will be in Calhoun County on December 12th, in Humboldt, Kossuth, Emmett, and Palo Alto County on the 13th of December. And I will, as of the middle of December, have been in all 99 counties of Iowa this year, as will the Lieutenant Governor. We take our responsibility to serve the entire state very seriously, and I always enjoy getting up to Northwest Iowa.